my name is Gillian. I'd like to introduce my friend Kabita here. We call her the Bengali Tiger. Sometimes I think she's a Bengali shrimp.
Thank you, Gillian. Actually, that's a very appropriate description because Bengalis love their seafood. And this is my friend Gillian. She's the Canadian Cougar, and she thinks she's an Amazon, but we're really actually the same height. Almost the same height.
I'm taller than you are.
Okay.
I'm taller than you are.
It's her shoes.
Well, this evening we're making a cross-cultural meal. We're making a combination Indian-Canadian meal, since we were reflecting our relative backgrounds. Kabita, would you like to describe what you're making?
I'm making today a vegetable biryani, and it's a medley of vegetables with basmati rice. And it also calls for paneer, but we're going to skip that because we have a protein which Gillian is going to demonstrate as well.
And I am making smoked barbecued venison, which has been dry marinated with a salt, sugar, and herb marinade. And that will be served with a chutney, which I have made also. And it's sort of Canadian. It's like a cross between Canadian and Indian. We have some dried apricots in there, and the recipe called for brown sugar, and I've replaced that with maple syrup, so it's a maple chutney as well.
Yeah, wonderful.
And we have some in front of us. I've made some samosas, which are a wonderful appetizer in India, something that I grew to love when I lived in East Africa, and it's a traditional sort of afternoon snack. They serve it at cocktail parties. Am I right? Mm-hmm. And it's very simple. There are different versions of it. There are all vegetable versions. I happen to be a meat eater, cougar than I am. And I have made mine with a meat filling. I've served them with lime wedges, but you can also serve them with chutneys if that's your preference. Coriander chutney is something that goes rather well with it. So Kabita, would you like to show some of the ingredients that you're putting in the biryani?
So what we're going to put in the vegetable biryani is basmati rice, a mixture of vegetables including cauliflower, carrots, zucchini, and okra that have been diced to about the same size. And we're going to fry some onions first. I have pre-fried some onions for the topping. We have garlic here, and the spices that we're going to be using are turmeric, garlic of course, and garam masala, which is made basically from cinnamon stick, cloves, and cardamom. And we're also going to use the whole garam masala spices in the oil to temper the dish. We're going to finish the dish with a sprinkling of nuts and golden raisins.
That sounds delicious. I can hardly wait to try it. We get to eat this later. I am standing in front of the chutney, which is a finished product here. It's a mixture of malt vinegar, a little bit of water, sultana raisins, the apricots, which are dried, and they should be chopped to about a consistency. As you can see here, it's not really super finely chopped. It's still a little bit chunky, so it has some texture. It also has garam masala in it. And Kabita has already described what goes into that, but you can get prepared versions. I've got two versions here, one by Nearest Garam Masala, and another one by Urbana Accents. They're slightly different in color. I'm not sure what the composition difference is to create that, but they are slightly different in taste as well. It's sometimes a personal preference. You can mix different things.
Spices. You can actually, the common ingredients in garam masala throughout India are these basic three spices, cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon stick. But different regions have their own versions of garam masala. So in one you may find that there's cumin and coriander as well. Like this one does have cumin and coriander. It's got black pepper and it's got anise as well. So every region.
You can read that.
Yeah, every region. Yeah, it's
very smart.
Every region has a different recipe for garam masala, and also within each region, each dish may require different types of garam masala, which you make on the spot. Because what I've done with this one is, this particular one is homemade. You toast the ingredients and you toast the actual spices, and you toast it gently, and then you grind it, and that's how I've done that.
It sounds wonderful. What kind of cuisine did you grow up with as a child? What were sort of particular to your region?
Right. Well, I'm Bengali, so I grew up, although I was born in Burma, so I did have a lot of exposure to Burmese food initially. But our native cuisine is Bengali cuisine, and Bengal is situated around the Bay of Bengal, so we are true fish lovers. And one of our most famous dishes is shorshe mach, which is a hilsa. And I think in North America you call that shad. Shad steamed in ground mustard and mustard oil with green chilies.
Oh,
it is delicious.
It really sounds delicious.
But we were exposed to cuisines from all over India as well. So some dishes are pretty universal in India.
So that's quite common in India for different parts of India to borrow from the other regions
Yes,
for their
it is.
cuisine.
However, you will find that Bengali cuisine has not migrated so much to the rest of India, whereas the other regions have brought their cuisines to Bengal. Bengali food is generally eaten at home, and very few, in Calcutta for instance, you find very few actual Bengali restaurants. I think there are just 2 Bengali restaurants that I know of, because everyone treasures their home cooking so much. So the restaurants in Calcutta would be mostly North Indian or Kashmiri, North Indian, Gujarati, or South Indian.
Someday, it's my dream to go to India and travel around and try all the different cuisines from the different areas. I hope that we could do that together. That would be so much fun. I would love that.
Yeah, we could do a video of that too.
We could. It'd be much more fun than going where I'm from, far northern Ontario, which is why I'm doing venison this evening. It's something that I grew up eating. We live so far north, 300 miles south of James Bay, and in the wintertime, there was nothing shipped in. You just couldn't get anything. So you had preserved things that you put down. And you also, if you wanted meat, you had to shoot it. So my father shot what we ate. So we got a lot of moose and partridge and rabbit and venison, and I grew to really like it. And luckily we live in this wonderful place in Northern California where we can get almost anything. And if you can't get it here, you can go online and find all of it. And I have a couple of websites that I am familiar with and have used that I really like for different kinds of game if I can't get them locally. So that's something that I'm really happy to be able to find here.
Yeah, good thing you're very enterprising, Gillian. You always manage to find the right stuff.
I try. I like to cook, so I really like to have all the ingredients that I need to make what I would like.